Your baby is tired, not crying, not fussy, not rubbing their eyes the way books say they will. Just tired. Quietly, softly, secretly. And this is the part most parents never learn. Babies don't start with the obvious signs. They start with the subtle ones, and by the time you notice the big clues, you're already too late. Because somewhere between the soft whimper and the glazed stare, their body flips into overtired mode. And once that switch flips, everything gets harder. Feeding, soothing, sleeping. Even holding them feels like cradling a tiny ball of electricity that cannot shut off. But there's a truth almost nobody teaches. If you catch the early signs, before the crying, your baby falls asleep faster, sleeps longer, and wakes calmer. Today, you're going to learn how to see what most parents miss. Because babies communicate beautifully. They just don't do it with words. They use eyebrows, breathing, gaze, tiny body movements, and energy shifts. They whisper with their nervous system long before they ever raise their voice. And once you learn how to read those whispers, everything changes. Most parents miss the early signs of overtiredness. Catching these signs increases quality of sleep instantly. What most parents do not understand is what overtiredness is actually doing inside their baby's body. When a baby gets overtired, their body does something counterintuitive. It wakes itself up. It releases cortisol, the stress hormone. The same chemical your body produces when you're scared or overwhelmed. A baby's brain goes, "I'm too tired, I'm too stimulated, I don't feel safe enough to fall asleep." So instead of drifting off, they fight, they thrash, they cry harder, they kick, they arch, they turn into what parents lovingly call a tiny, adorable tornado of chaos. But the real problem isn't the crying, it's what came before the crying. Because babies show signs, clear, specific, reliable signs, sometimes 10 to 20 minutes before they ever cry. Signs so subtle that most parents miss them. Signs that say, "I'm ready to sleep, right now, this moment." If you catch those signs early, your baby's body stays in calm mode. The cortisol surge never happens. They fall asleep peacefully. If you miss them, you're soothing against a hormonal storm. Which is why your baby can go from smiling to screaming in a single breath. Today, you're going to learn the early signs, the ones parents walk past every day without realizing what they mean. These signs are small, they're quiet, they're easy to overlook, which is why sign number 7 is the easiest one to miss and the most important of all. But before we get there, you need to understand what's actually driving all of these signs. Babies aren't dramatic, they're biological. Their sleep cycles, brain waves, and stress systems are all tied to one thing: nervous system stability. When a baby is ready for sleep, their nervous system begins to power down. Heart rate slows, gaze softens, muscles loosen, attention span narrows. But if we keep them awake past this window, bright lights, noise, stimulation, playtime, screens, errands, the brain panics. We're tired, but still awake. This must be unsafe. And it floods the system with cortisol and adrenaline. This makes your baby harder to soothe, harder to settle, more reactive, more clingy, more fussy, less able to stay asleep. But here's the good news. If you respond at the early cues, you prevent the cortisol surge entirely. Your baby falls asleep with the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, fully active. That means longer naps, easier bedtimes, fewer night wakings, a calmer baby overall. And all you have to do is learn the cues. Let's go through them one by one. And remember, sign number 7 is the one almost every parent misses. Before we get to the one almost every parent misses, you need to understand the early signs first. These are not in random order. They follow the exact progression of a baby's tiredness curve. 1. Red eyebrows. It's subtle, a faint red line, a pinkish flush across the brow bone. But this is one of the earliest, most reliable signs. Picture this. You're playing on the floor, your baby looks totally fine, maybe even happy. But you notice the eyebrows have shifted color. That's not irritation, that's tiredness. Your baby's blood flow is changing, it's the nervous system signaling, "We're winding down." Ignore this cue, and the window closes fast. 2. Staring into space. This is not calm, this is disengagement. A baby who suddenly zones out isn't relaxed. They're shutting down sensory intake. The world has gotten too loud, too bright, too much. Here is an example you will recognize. Your baby was babbling, reaching, grabbing toys, and suddenly their gaze goes soft and distant. That's not boredom. That's the brain saying, I need sleep now. 3. Sudden hyperactivity. Parents think hyper means awake. It doesn't. In babies, hyperactivity is the nervous system's last attempt to fight exhaustion. Kicking, flailing, fast arms, high energy squeals. This is not play. This is cortisol. Here is what you may see. Your calm baby suddenly becomes a wild noodle person. They're not wired. They're overtired. The irony? This is when most parents start trying to wear them out. But stimulation increases cortisol. More cortisol equals worse sleep. 4. Clenched fists. This one is quiet. Your baby holds their hands in soft fists when tired. It's not anger. It's not frustration. It's tension. Here's an example of how this plays out. You pick them up and notice little fists pressed against your chest. That's the body bracing. That's the early edge of fatigue. Respond now, and sleep comes beautifully. 5. Pulling ears or rubbing eyes. Early, not late. Most parents only look for this at the crying stage. This is when it is too late. The early version, the light touch, the small rub, the absent-minded tug, is the real cue. A common example you will notice. Your baby grazes their eye with the back of their hand or lightly tugs their ear while smiling. That's not irritation. That's the first neurological sign that the sleep drive is activating. 6. Becoming extra social. This one fools everyone. Your baby suddenly becomes smiley, chatty, extra charming. A burst of brightness right before the crash. This is the nervous system trying to stay awake. It's the second wind. Here is what that looks like. You're holding your baby and they start cooing at strangers, grinning nonstop, overexcited. You think, oh, they're so happy. No, they're tired, very tired. This phase is tiny. Miss it, and the meltdown arrives soon after. 7. Soft, repetitive whimpering. The most important sign. This is the cue every parent misses. It's not crying, not fussing, just a soft, rhythmic, breathy sound. A little hum, a tiny whine, barely audible unless you're close. Here is a familiar scenario. Your baby is lying on your chest making a small noise. Not upset, not distressed, just releasing. This is the nervous system's final whisper before the cortisol spike. Catch this moment, just this one, and your baby will fall asleep easier than you've ever seen. Miss it, and the overtired spiral begins. And it's exactly why sign number 7 matters most. Soft whimpering means the brain is asking for sleep. Right now, not later, now. This is not behavior, it's biology. And once you see it, you will never unsee it. This is the point of transformation. Now that you understand the signs, let me show you what to do with them. Because a sign means nothing if it doesn't lead to action. Here's the solution. Build a simple nap routine around cues. Parents are told to follow schedules, wake windows, rigid nap times, charts, logs, apps. But biology doesn't follow charts. Biology follows cues. Here's your new approach. Watch the baby, not the clock. Respond to the first cue, not the final meltdown. Here's a simple routine built around your baby's nervous system. Step 1. Notice the first sign, any of the 7. Don't wait for more signs. Don't wait to be sure. Don't wait for crying. Early signs mean sleep window open. Step 2. Lower stimulation. Immediately lights dim. Noise low, voice soft. Movement slow. This signals to the brain. It's safe to shut down. Step 3. Pick one. Consistent when down cue. Something short and simple. Walk to the bedroom. Close the blinds. Turn on white noise. Say your sleep phrase. It's sleepy time. Shh, I'm here. Time for rest. Consistency is everything. Step 4. Soothe before the cortisol. Spike, rocking, holding, feeding. Patting, swaddling, side-lying pacifier. Whatever your baby responds to, use it at the first sign. Your baby falls asleep faster because you never let the stress response kick in. Step 5. Trust subtlety over schedules. Most parents put babies down late. You will put them down early, not too early, just with precision. Your new rhythm is cue, routine sleep. It is not schedule, fuss, cry, sleep. This is how babies learn to fall asleep peacefully. Now let me show you what starts to change over time once you begin honoring those early signs. Day 1. Awareness. You start noticing cues you've ignored for months. Your baby goes down slightly easier. You think, is this really working? Yes, it is. Day 3, predictability. Your baby starts showing signs at the same times every day. Their nervous system begins trusting the pattern. You're not fighting sleep anymore. You're following biology. Day 7, longer naps. This is when the magic happens. Your baby sleeps in longer stretches because they entered sleep calm, not overtired. Day 14, calmer wake, periods. Your baby becomes less fussy, less clingy, more alert, more engaged, more emotionally stable, because sleep is now restorative, not reactive. 1 month in, transformation. Your baby finally feels predictable. You finally feel confident. Sleep is no longer a battle. It's a conversation, a quiet one, a subtle one, a nervous system to nervous system whisper. You're not following a schedule, you're following your baby, and your baby trusts you now in a way only sleep can create. So now the work gently shifts to you, to learning how to trust the quiet signals. Your baby's body is brilliant. It tells you what it needs, long before the crying. But we were trained to respond to volume, not nuance. Your new job is to trust the whisper instead of waiting for the scream. Because here's the truth. Babies don't want to fight sleep. They want to surrender to it. They just need you to hear the early cues. When you do, their nervous system settles. Their breath slows. Their body softens. Their eyes flutter. And they melt into sleep the way they were biologically designed to. Sleep becomes something shared, not something struggled over. That changes everything. And it brings us back to the simplest truth. Your baby won't remember the charts, the wake windows, the schedules, the advice from strangers. They'll remember this, that their body spoke and you listened, that they whispered and you understood. That sleep wasn't something you force, it was something you created together. A shared rhythm, a shared nervous system, a shared quiet trust. Your baby is communicating beautifully. Now you know how to hear them. You've got this.